All right, all right, all right. Happy birthday, Ingrid. I know it's not today, but happy birthday. Tomorrow, I believe. What's going on, y'all? Straight talk. Needs some straight understanding. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, tomorrow, right? Wait, today's the 15th. Oh, I thought today was the 16th. My fault. Oh, yes. Happy birthday. It's your birthday weekend. Ingrid doing the thing. We're sitting here trying to be in control because that's just what I bring. I'm straight, tall, straight understanding. And that's what we're doing right now. I'm going to wait for people to come in. Of course, I'm just feeling real. Anyway, nah. All right, y'all. What's going on? All right, all right. Murray Bells on the ones and twos, the theme song. Straight talk, straight understanding. This is control. That's what a lot of people want. Everybody's reaching for it. Control. Yes, yes, yes. So let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. All right, Ingrid, you said that you will go live with me one day on my platform. So if this is the day, you already went live with me before. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I was getting a phone call. I was getting a phone call. But anyway, this is straight talk, Lisa, straight understanding. Why am I not? This phone, this phone. All right, all right. Not today, not today, not today. All right. Antonia, what's going on? All right. Everyone's reaching forward. All right, all right. Antonia said, "Hey, Ingrid. Hey, Antonia. All right, all right. So yeah. What's going on, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Straight Talk, Lisa Straight Understanding. My name is Sean Bolden, or Sean B. However you know me, I'm sitting here on Facebook, YouTube. What's going on, Antonia? And YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm on all three platforms. I'm coming here to say what's up to everybody today. Uh, so, so. In case you didn't hear it, I have a. I did a little Instagram live. I did a little Instagram reel or straight talk short regarding what's his name? What's hold on, I'll get his name in a second. Oh, regarding Jamal Bryant's comments on Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna play that for y'all if I can get it up over here so that y'all can hear what I said. And we can discuss that a little later. That will be last part of the conversation. The, but I am going to start with some of these young cats in rhyming. Some of these young cats, man. Young Thug, Gunna, all these cats that now we got the Rico indictment. I wrote a rhyme a while ago and it kind of reflect some of what I be feelings going on these days. What's up, D? What's going on these days? And unfortunately, I'm gonna recite it in a second, but these young cats, man, yo, they doing all these wrong, all these things. And I don't understand why they keep doing it, man. You know, what is it about the glorification of the street life? Nah, I didn't hear Kendrick Lamar's album, but I did hear his single. I'm enjoying the single. I enjoyed that single. He was spitting, and I enjoy when somebody is spitting. Um, so no, I didn't hear his live, but I did hear him spit, and yeah, I was kind of impressed. Kendrick always been impressive though. He's a good MC. What's good, bro? He's a good MC, you know, and I enjoy good MCs, whether they just talking about themselves, whether they're talking life stuff, even when they talk street stuff. You know, a good MC is a good MC, and I enjoy an MC who has talent and abilities to where he can showcase his skills. All right, so I'm going to go to uh, my live. Yo, first off, I'm going to play a couple of things. I'm going to play a couple of things. I'm about to get into it tonight. All right, what you getting into tonight? Talk to me. Talk to me. It's good, Tony. Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all sitting there having conversation amongst each other. Talk with me. Can I be part of the conversation? What we getting into tonight? I just want to know. Maybe I want to partake. I could fly out there. Probably wouldn't, but I could. I could fly out there. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I could fly out there. So what we doing tonight? She gonna get into the album. Oh, the Kendrick Lamar album. All right. Yeah, I keep looking down because I'm over here at the computer. This is my computer where I'm it's kind of like my notes, and I'm taking notes and I'm going into it. But yeah, so I'm gonna start talking because I'm gonna give that attention. My birthday party is tomorrow, she said, but we talking about KL. 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 I don't understand KL. You gotta feed me. So all right. We was talking about Young Thug. Yo, why did Wallow sit there and tell this man? You know how I be feeling about how you know, when I was speaking about Kevin Samuel, how people miss the message because they ain't trying to pay attention to the messenger. And I was speaking about how they was missing some of the stuff that Kevin was trying to relay to them. Well, I feel the same way about Young Thug. My man Wallow was directly speaking to him and saying, yo, stop doing this dumb shit. I mean, he said it like literally, those was his words. And you know, Thug was like, yeah, I guess everybody feel like they could get away with whatever when they start getting money, not realizing this is the rhyme that I wrote. This is the rhyme I wrote. Everybody want to be a killer, see a movie of the mob, and you want to be the Don, but yo, you're just a pawn in this sea of madness. Think you're swimming in dough, but only drowning in the sadness. You don't need no apparatus to establish your status. Diamonds will carry size a higher stake to your cabbage and protect your neck. That theory is sensible, but guarding those materials is distracts from its principle. All doing dirt for one purpose. If money's the root to evil, damn, the Lord cursed her. Because bitches want the riches, the niggas want their pockets bigger. Pulling the trigger is a small thing if it builds the figure. What we call money, rich throw away like trash while they sit on the money and while they sit on the dollars and we scrape for the cash. Something like that. But anyway, so death comes easy when we go is a mystery. How it feel to have dough they want to know for their history. Violence influence he. Bills be pursuing she. Kings and queens acting like hoes. They'll do anything. Is it the enemy or the enemy? We love authority, but not responsibility. Oh, man. I'm just saying. Young Thug, what's going down? Gunna, and all y'all other little gang affiliated, yo, be part of the affiliation, make that gang a business, like he tried to do, but you have to separate the business from the gang life. You can't be a gangster and a celebrity. I said that since back in the days. Suge tried it, failed. Gotti, the real Gotti, failed. I mean, you could go back in the days. Well, I mean, all the drug heads that, all the gangsters and dons who tried to be famous failed. Nicky Barnes failed. You know, the snitch thing. Alpo failed. I mean, do we got to keep going down the list? You can't be a gangster and a celebrity. They don't mix, especially nowadays with social media. Because guess what? It will be exposed. They're just sitting there gathering up the information just to come back at you. What up, Doke? I'm just saying, K Max, what's up, bro? So I'm saying you can't be a gangster and a celebrity. Again, everybody want to be a killer. See a movie of the mob and they want to be the Don, but yo, you're just a pawn in this industry of madness. Think you're swimming in dope, but only drowning in the sadness. Can I say that again? Everybody want to be a killer. See a movie of the mob, then you want to be the Don, but yo, you're just a pawn in this industry of madness. Think you're swimming in dope, but only drowning in the sadness. Yo, you don't need no apparatus to establish your status. Diamonds with carats as a higher stake to your cabbage. Protect your neck. That theory is sensible, but guarding all those materials distracts from this principle. What's going on, T? What's up? What's up? What's up? I hope you're feeling well. Hope you're feeling well. Thank you for joining me. Tisha, salute to you. Blessings and prayers to you still are there. So, like I'm saying, these young gunners and these man, what is going on with y'all? I wish I would have wrote that rhyme. Maybe they would have heard it, and maybe they would have just slowed down a little bit, just a little bit, or I could have had a conversation to help. I say rhymes to help people. I talk here to help people. That's all I do, man. I guess I am preaching. I don't like to call it preaching because I don't like that responsibility. I was having that conversation. Somebody said, "Oh, you might be missing your calling." Well, I'm not ready for the responsibility that comes with the calling of preaching. I don't mind speaking to people about the truth, just so that you know, I just do this for the truth. Mr. Green, what's up, bro? Ma, what up? So yeah, I just speak because I like sharing the truth. And the funny thing is, I had a conversation this morning, and I find this is what actually happens when I speak. And my brother is definitely the connoisseur of me speaking the truth. He was the my inspiration because he used to kick that shoot. I won't be cursing right now, but he used to kick that. Yo, I told y'all some rhymes that he said that would just blew my mind. To this day, still blow my mind. That man said, "War, what is it good for? Is it the economy or kill off the poor?" Question put to me by a Vietnam vet. Said he'd been to hell. How worse could it get? Said he seen his men just splattered into bits, loaded his clip, and then a child was hit. Now every night when he closes his eyes, he sees the mother cry as the baby died. Do you understand the magnitude that my brother just showed me just in sharing those lyrics? He said, "Yo, war." He said that the man who went to war had to kill somebody. So every night when he closes his eyes now, he sees the mother cry as the baby dies. So he was trying to be a killer for a country that often don't care about you. And he had to deal with the repercussions and the imagery of having to kill an innocent soul in what he was taught to protect himself, and neither the mother or the child was a threat to him. Man, now that's it. That's it. Erica Ford, I'm speaking your spit right now. All right. I'm talking about all these youngsters out here on the street doing this nonsense, talking about Young Gunner and I mean Young Thug and Gunner. I didn't listen to the music, so I can't even speak on what it was. If you paid me $1 million to recite some Young Gunner, or I mean some Young Thug or Gunner song, I probably will be in the same financial status that I'm in right now. But the point being is that I still have admiration for people who are doing their thing. And so, like, I have the admiration of everybody who is doing something successful, whether I like what their material or not. I support and try to encourage it. I.e., that's why I had the conversation, or that's why I was speaking about um, Kevin Samuels. That's why I even speak about Jamal Bryant. I don't really listen to either or know either the men that well, but they both have some good things that they try and spread. One through ministry and one not. But like I said in this thing, to me, I like to boil things down to the root. And the root of it is when I go to church and I'm looking up, I see a stage. Now, what I see as when I see it as a stage, it's a performance, their performance to the audience. Me being an audience member, that's how I'm looking at it. So I'm looking at the audience and I see a stage. Anybody want to join me, please feel free. Just let me know. But so I can't get beyond the fact that whether you're in the pulpit or whether you're performing on internet, you have a stage. All right. And your job is to entertain your audience, whether your audience are believers, whether your audiences are ratchet gangsters, whether your audience are women who might have some trauma issues, whether your audience is right now. I'm sitting here on a stage. I don't know what my audience is because I haven't identified that, but I'm just talking. My audience, I'm trying to help folks. So if you could broaden your perspective just a little bit in anything that I say or anything that I share, I'm content. I'm happy because that's kind of what it's about. So let's get back to what I was talking about, what I had put up. Now, I'm going to play a couple of things that were sent to me. The first one is something I cannot say, but I'm going to let her say it. All right, listen, y'all. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me go back.
Men. I believe some of our women have.
All right. So this is a young lady right here, y'all. And she's speaking about men and her perspective on it. Now, her name is his daughter Seven. And if you don't know about his daughter Seven, she speaks to women about being accountable, similar to Kevin Samuels and uh, and she speaks from the standpoint of a woman. Now, some women call her pig me, but I got a question. I was having this conversation today. Why is it when somebody's speaking in general, we take it to heart and get offended by it, and then we act as if we're not taking it personally or that it doesn't apply to us in what's being spoken about? If you're offended, wouldn't that possibly apply to you and what you're listening to and what caused the offense? I'm just curious because it don't when I boil it down, the root that I was speaking of earlier, when I boil down, when I'm looking at the audiences, if I'm in the audience and someone's speaking to me, I have the option to leave. I have the option to not have even showed up. And I have the option to, um, have my opinion on it. But I also have to admit to myself that if I didn't listen and stay for the whole thing, and somebody said that they said something very valuable, I cannot argue that. I can't argue it. I could say, oh, they ain't say nothing, but that would be my ignorance because I left before they even finished whatever it was that they were saying. So I would have to responsibly take the position of, all right, well, if they did, I missed it. Why is that so hard for people to do? Can y'all talk to me? Can somebody talk to me? What's up, though? Can somebody tell me? You know, my pastor today was speaking about, he said it's our responsibility, as Pastor A.R. Bernard, he said it's our responsibility to judge things. And a lot of people do not agree with that. Why are you placing judgment? Why are you? Because as he was speaking, and I would pull him up, but I don't have his sermon. But as he was speaking, because it's necessary. Otherwise, everything will be unruly. If we had no judgment, there would be no rule and no order. Those are my words, not his. But it's why do we go to court? What do we go to court for? Why is there a judge or this legal system if there was no reason for judgment? Don't judge me. But it's because they're in a position or they went to school or went through law. Nah, it was to judge. And I can understand and agree with what he says when he says it's our responsibility. So I'm just asking if y'all could tell me some of these answers to these questions, because I want to learn. I don't think I know it all. Contrary to some people's beliefs. Part of the conversation I was having this afternoon or this morning that I challenged is that I don't. They said you're very opinionated was what I was told, and I was like, if you really know me, you'll understand that I'm not usually sharing my opinion. I'm usually sharing my observation. My observation is very different. The reason why I'm able to share my observation is because I listen well. I will sit and listen for a long time before I sit there and try and tell people what it is. I listen. Not only that, observation is I also pay attention to your actions. I retain both and then I compare them later. And the comparison is the observation that I share with you. And usually, when you don't like that observation, you call it opinionated. And I've matured out of the fact of arguing about, okay, you think it's opinionated? Cool. Because I'm learning to grow every day. But if you really listen to what I'm saying, because I will be able to break down when you specifically said what you said, what the circumstances, and it ain't usually about me that you're speaking about. It's usually about your life that I'm listening to. It's usually your life that I'm observing. How you deal with others, how you deal with me, how you deal with, so when I look at these things, for example, if you say, I'm straight up all the time, I'm about my business, and then you see somebody that you don't want to do business with, and they're legitimate business, and you don't vibe with them, and you then repeat to me, I'm about my business on another occasion, I might remind you, or I have embraced the fact that I'm confrontational 2 weeks ago. I might confront you about the fact that you say you're about your business, but yet when the person wants to do business with you, you was in your feelings about how you felt about that person and you not being able to vibe with that person, and you didn't conduct any business, which could have been lucrative for you, which could have been a great opportunity, not only for you and for the growth of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, but yet because of your feelings or because of what you felt about that person, you did not handle your business. Now, to each his own, you can do what you want. But do you see the contradiction in I'm about my business, but then taking it personal, or somebody's you can't vibe with them, you're not on the same, how do they say nowadays? Your vibration is too low for me. Really? I don't understand where people get this vibration that's too low as if they're so high. What is it that make you so high? Your financial status? I am not mature in finances. I can admit that. I look for people to help me out with that. I'm not mature with being able to lie to people like a promotions person who sit there and gas you up. Yo, yeah, that. I'm not well versed in that. I'm not mature in that area. I respect those people who are. I might not agree with it. I don't agree with it, but I respect they are accomplishing what they set out to do. Money don't drive me. That's why my financial scenario, I'm not as mature in, because money don't drive me. Somebody could be like, yo, I got this. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. All right, let's do it. But where the average person, if they get $1 million deal, they'll be excited. For example, I've been this way for a long time. When we first got our first record contract, all right, and they sent it to me. My aunt Sherry, she read it over and she gave me. She's a lawyer, and she gave me her opinion, and it wasn't favorable. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you got a deal. Yo, how'd you like the contract?" And at 15, 14, I can't remember how old I was, and they asked me, and I didn't have any other words because my vocabulary and frustration did not match. And I said, yo, this is some bullshit. It was like, oh, whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, yo, this is some bullshit. You gave me a bullshit contract. Wait, no, we can negotiate. Da, 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 da. Yo, all right, well, whatever. But the point being is that I've always been this type that I wasn't, trying to offend him. I was just answering this question that he asked. And y'all say that I don't have any. Sometimes I don't have any delivery, good delivery practices. Well, guess what? It was a lot worse then. I've matured a bit. I still might not be the best deliverer for everybody, but I try to start out where I deliver very calmly, very politically correct as much as possible. I start there, and I have a lot of patience usually, but I do when I get to the point of it's not getting through, the straight talk comes out to where I narrow it down. I was good in math, and I always use this example. I always like to boil things down to the lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator, which means I like to get to the root of the issue. So if the root of the issue happens to be your BS or your nonsense, and I'm trying to tell you, hey, you want to evaluate how you're doing it, you might want to evaluate how somebody else feels. And that's usually my first and initial approach. Like, what is it that you're doing and how you think a person feels that you're doing that? That's usually my first step in any conversation that I have with a person. Like, all right, because I think of it from this standpoint. Whoever we're talking about is not here. If they're on the phone, I will talk with them. But when I'm on the phone with a person and I'm speaking to one, I'm like, yo, what? I directly address and confront what they're doing, not what the other person did to them. Because I probably will agree. And I tell them, yo, all right, I can understand and I can agree with that. And I'm not going to dispute that. But how could you have done it differently is all I'm asking, because you're the one complaining and you're the one frustrated and offended by it. So I understand the frustration and complaint, but why is it that you're still complaining and yet you're sitting there putting it all on them when in fact they are the ones who are not even thinking about you being frustrated? They're not even they living in they're living a good life. They out there living a good life. And you sitting here talking with me about frustration. Now, I have the patience for most of my friends and loved ones for some time to listen to it. Some of my friends can attest to it. But after a while, in listening, I get what they call my opinion, because I will confront them about it. Like, all right, yo, I hear you. That's cool. And then I'll ask them why and what and so on and so forth. So then when I ask them, and I don't question people's, I'm like, don't tell me, well, that's just how I feel. That's the last thing I want to hear. Unless it's backed up by some merit. Tell me why you feel that way or what. But I just can't go on how you feel. We all feel. That's the opinion that you're accusing me of. I'm telling you the merit of what I observed. You telling me your feeling and how you feel about it. And I'm asking you, okay, I understand that's how you feel. I understand that's how you feel. What's up, though? Taz, what's up? I understand how you feel, but tell me more about what it is that you're going. Why don't you go live with me, Taz? I want to see if you're available to go live because you can probably touch on this. I know we had did an interview and you do some things with a lot of people that you engage with. So if you're willing, just press live. All right, cool. There we go. All right. This straight talk leads to straight understanding. I'm about to have my man Taz come on, Tazi. Uh, and he's gonna join me. And I wanted him to join me specifically. What up? What up? What up? Salute. Uh-oh, I can't hear you. All right, I'm good. I'm good. All right, there you go. There you go. You going in and out. You outdoors, I see.
I'm outdoors today. I'm outdoors.
All right, all right, all right. Why don't you introduce yourself real quick?
I go by the name of Cosby. I live in Maryland, East County, Maryland. I'm an artist. I got a studio. If you want to record music in the Maryland area, the name of my studio is Rob Records in Beltsville, Maryland. Reach out to me on my contact on my page anytime. You want to record some music. Or if you want to collaborate on the phone, I'm kind of nice with it nowadays.
Just so that y'all know, Tazi has been doing a song a week, a new song every week. He's challenging himself to do a new song every week and introduce it to you guys here on Instagram. So if you follow him and you can get those new songs, he has a lot of different styles. He rhymes, he does the Afro beats, reggae feel and vibe. He sings, he does a combination of things. So check him out for that. But yo, so I was just speaking, right? And I was speaking about accountability, but I was speaking from the standpoint of people in general. Why is it so hard for people to take accountability for what I'm going to call their BS?
You know, I think I was having a conversation with a cousin of mine yesterday. I think it's like this. So for a long time, I always asked myself that question.
Uh-huh.
In general, why is it all these foolish stuff, right? I do an I do an accountability thing.
I couldn't hear you.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I said I think people do it because they don't want to deal with the fact that we are all trash, but that's okay. You know, they don't want to have to deal with themselves and look themselves in the mirror and accept the fact that they too have issues. We all think we're perfect snowflakes. We all think that, you know, we fist gold and shit diamond. You know, everybody thinks this stuff. They don't want to accept the fact that, you know, everybody is jacked up in their own way, but that's okay.
Well, you know what's interesting about that? But we all are not. We are not our special perfect snowflake. That's some BS. We all are not the best at everything we do. We might be the best at some of the things we do, but we all are not the best at everything we do. And we don't accept when somebody is better. We don't like to take advice from people who might be better. For example, I give the example, would Kobe Bryant, if he was alive, God rest his soul, Michael Jordan, hey mama, what's up? would they take advice from somebody? I don't want to put nobody out there, but somebody who doesn't play as good as them.
Exactly.
Why would they do that is what I'm confused about. But a lot of people tend to, hey mama, tend to have that, I call it arrogance, to where they want to be the best and feel like they're the best at anything they have a bit of understanding about.
I think people like to, they want to come off and say, oh, the greatness was pre-installed when I came on this earth. You know, it was pre-installed in my DNA. You know, this was people want to act like, oh, they want to come off as it's a factory set. You know, it's a straight off the manufacturer. I was great. You know, and you know what? There are some people like that. But that's the percent of the population who are born truly gifted. You know, most people generally have and achieve greatness. So I have a game called Follow the Logic.
Follow the Logic? Let's play it. Let's play it. I want to play Follow the Logic. This is Tazi's game. All right, Tazi, tell us about the game.
Follow the Logic. Jordan is a basketball player, correct?
Correct.
I too want to be a great basketball player. Would it make sense for me to A, get training and conditioning from Michael Jordan, who is a great basketball player, or B, get conditioning from somebody who is not a great basketball player? Which will give me the better outcome to be a great basketball player?
Ding, 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 ding. Tazi, I will say I'll take Michael Jordan for 500. Wow, it's interesting you say that because, oh man, I was talking about this. You know, I spoke about Kevin Samuels and Jamal Bryant. Jamal Bryant said some things. Are you familiar?
The pastor said something about the GoFundMe.
Yeah, about the GoFundMe and why is he talking about people and the funny thing is, I have no offense to what he said. My thing that I call, because I think he's an entertainer and he was entertaining his audience like Kevin Samuels was an entertainer and he was entertaining his audience. And I feel only thing that I do have a pushback on is when they're hypocritical and you're doing what that man did, but you're sitting there condemning and complaining about how he did it or when he did it, but you're doing the exact same thing. Now, my mama just said it's learning as. Go ahead.
And you're really just portraying exactly what he was speaking about. You are exemplifying exactly what he was speaking on in terms of people's character.
And to me, I'm like, yo, I don't really put. They're both men, so I don't really put either of them on a pedestal. The one in the pulpit or the one on YouTube. I listen to what it is that they got to say and see if it can feed any part of me, or I don't listen and move from what they say. But I think that both of them have said some things that I've seen that was valuable to someone, including myself. And when it comes down, I just question, why are people so resistant to receiving information because of how that information is shared with them? I don't get it, man. My mother said, it's learning as you go on in life. Ma, you are absolutely correct. And my mother and I, for example, Tazi had to leave, but my mother and I, for example, are learning each and every day when we have conversations. pleasant and rough conversations, we learn. Once we get out of our emotions, we learn. And as she said, it's learning as you go on in life. That's what I learned from her. And she has a lot more life than me. And so, therefore, I sit there and I try to embrace uh, uh, things that she has learned. And I try to share things that I have learned. What we both have to sometimes humble ourselves and do is unlearn some of the stuff that we learned that might not be beneficial to us. And that's a difficult thing for anybody. So if we're challenged with that, but we can admit that that's our challenge, we can kind of get a remedy or get a solution when that comes about. So, that's kind of what's being said. But ladies and gentlemen, please take more accountability. Maturity is when you can take accountability and responsibility for what it is you do. A lot of people like to talk like they're mature in every aspect of their lives when they're truly and honestly not. Part of that accountability is being honest to yourself. And if you're honestly not mature, but you think you're mature, and somebody, like, for example, if I haven't been to school for X amount of years, I haven't been reading any books, I haven't been studying anything, and I meet up with a young student who is telling me about some of the stuff that I studied. I use my Gabby as an example, 12 years old. She's learning multiplication in a way that we're able to, in a way that I didn't learn, basically. And when she came to try and tell me about it, I was lost. I don't know if y'all know this new multiplication system that they have done. It seems to be a lot easier if you get it, but I don't know it well. And I'm mature enough to admit that and be honest about that. I'm very good at multiplication, but she might be better than me. She might be able to come up with those answers because of this new method much better than I'm able to. Now, only thing that will be my arrogance if I sit there and try and deny that. Nah, you don't know nothing. That new multiplication stuff ain't nothing. I know my multiplication. You ain't telling me. You can't. And you ask them what's 25 times 63, and they can tell you in a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, we have to go down to the piece of paper, carry the ones, and put the zeros, and we have to do all that the way that we learned it. So it's safe to say that they have advanced further than us at 11 years old, or further than me at 11 years old, then I know how to multiply. So I can't sit there and say that I'm more mature in multiplication in that instance. Why can't people do that in life? All right, mind you, I knew multiplication before she did. I've practiced it a lot longer than she has because I went through all college and things of that nature. But she is well advanced in being able to solve multiplication problems quicker and easier than I am. I have to be real with myself if I'm going to be real with her. She's 12. Okay, just saying. I'm just saying. So anyway, here's I'm gonna try and play the straight talk short that I did the other day, so that y'all can hear it, because it's really just how I felt, and it was about the Kevin Samuels, Jamal Bryant scenario. Which again, I don't care about either. I understand them both. More power to each of them and how they're doing it. That's up to them on how they're doing it. But here, let me play this for y'all. Is this it? What's going on, everybody? Sean Bolden, Sean B, back here with another Straight Talk Short. This one's going to be about, I've been getting these messages from a lot of my people about Dr. Jamal Bryant, the pastor. I don't know his church. I'm not that familiar with him. And what he said about Kevin Samuels. I guess they sent it to me because I've been speaking about Kevin Samuels. But my point and perspective was I laughed at each time I got it, and I was like, yo, he sure is catering to his audience in the same way Kevin catered to his audience. His audience was a bunch of women. And the funny thing is, it seemed like holy women versus the worldly women. And they just had different audiences. But I don't knock either one of them. And so when I was having a conversation, I shared this perspective, and I'm going to read to you what I shared in reference to that whole situation. All right, so that was the first part of it. I got to find the longer version, which might be here. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Sean Bolden, Sean B, back here with another Straight Talk Short. This one's going to be about, I've been getting these messages from a lot of my people about Dr. Jamal Bryant, the pastor. I don't know his church. I'm not that familiar with him. And what he said about Kevin Samuels. I guess they sent it to me because I've been speaking about Kevin Samuels. But my point and perspective was I laughed at each time I got it, and I was like, yo, he sure is catering to his audience in the same way Kevin catered to his audience. His audience was a bunch of women. And the funny thing is, it seemed like holy women versus the worldly women. And they just had different audiences. But I don't knock either one of them. And so when I was having a conversation, I shared this perspective, and I'm going to read to you what I shared in reference to that whole situation. Maybe y'all can think. I said, well, pastor or YouTuber, they are both men, first and foremost. And men who chose to find their audience on stage. And they both catered to their audiences very successfully, using whatever material they could to ignite the emotions of that said audience. Yep. Both are glorified by their audiences, and neither deserve praise beyond being excellent shock entertainers. Not excellent men. Shock entertainers, not excellent men. I can't be mad at either their accomplishments because I understand their initial intentions. First and foremost, they both looked at their craft and what they was doing, one in the pulpit and one YouTube and being famous as a business. So first off, they took this as a business. And second, the business that they were in is to entertain the audience using the material that will be embraced by the audience and enraged by the haters who did not like the way that they were delivering it. And there's haters on Kevin Samuels just like there's haters on Jamal Bryant. So, I can't be a hater on each. But I challenge anyone, that's you, that's me, who has any expectation from either of these two to do anything or expect anything other than what I just described in those two examples, because you can't change anybody. It's your expectation that leads you to your disappointment. So when you can understand that, or when we can understand that, we can take accountability for how we react to either or anybody's delivery or anybody's business way of doing their business. And once we take accountability, because I believe we only can change ourselves, then we challenge ourselves to be able to say, can we embrace something that will broaden our perspective? Can we broaden our perspective? That's bottom line. That's what I challenge people to do. Can you broaden your perspective? And I don't ask you to agree or disagree with another person's actions. I just ask you to broaden your perspective and being able to understand what it is and not making a shock entertainer, whether it be in a pulpit or whether it be on YouTube, accountable to being the character that they're portraying. What? And both of their deliveries, they both actually have some gems of what can be valuable, not only to their audiences, but to people in general. And that's what I say I challenge people to look at it instead of getting in their emotions or reacting to a certain thing because you expect them to be more than what it is that they are. Expectation leads to disappointment.
Straight talk.
Sean Bowden.
So I don't know if y'all heard that well, but the point that I was making there, and I'm about to wrap it up, is that I challenge you, I confront people to broaden their perspective, including myself. I do it every day. Now, when I have conversations with somebody, for example, yesterday, my perspective might have changed today. Because guess what? I'm intentionally trying to learn and change my perspective each and every day. So if you haven't spoken to me for a week, it's kind of like if we're playing basketball and you practice, and I use basketball as an example often, but if you practice one time a week and I practice six times a day for every day in the week, I don't understand why you feel you might match up with me, because you could be more talented than me. But because I'm putting in more work than you, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I say it in the music industry all the time, but it doesn't just apply to music. It applies to life. If you're working hard towards changing and broadening your perspective, then our conversations will go lovely. But if you're staying in the same place, in the same perspective, and you don't put any effort into broadening that perspective, you will call me opinionated. You will call me like I don't listen. You will say that all these things, that how bad or how good I'm not, and I don't think you ain't the Lord, and all types of things, instead of looking at yourself and saying, wow, I didn't put in the work. I didn't practice every day. I didn't read every day. I didn't listen to things that can enrich my spirit, but I'm talking about how enriched my spirit is. And when you get challenged with that, and somebody asks you, well, what did you read today? What did you listen to today? Did you read any scriptures, or did you listen to? And you say, no, I didn't, but I know because I read it yesterday, or I prayed on it, so I know my Lord is going to be with me. Prayer without practice, I'm just asking. So I'm not challenging anyone to be Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, which they did that extra practice and they did that extra work, and that's why they are super in what it is they do. But I challenge anybody that if you're going to question somebody who is putting in more effort to you to know about something, or to learn about something, or to be something, or to grow, don't knock them for it because you don't want to put in the effort. Embrace them, and perhaps even take heed to some of the methods that you might be able to embrace to get better as well. All right, broaden your perspective. Don't be stuck in your ways. So once you're stuck in your ways, that is a very easy display of what I would call ignorance. Like it or not, truth is the truth. With that being said, this is Sean Bowden, Sean B. Straight talk leads to straight understanding. Be about it. Be about it. You know why? Because everyone's looking for it. So with that being said, this is Sean Bowden, Sean B. I hope you enjoyed. I hope there was something that you was able to get out of it. And this is what we're going to do right now. We're going to listen to the theme song, Getting Out of Here, y'all. This is Maury Bells. It's called Control.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today to give you the praise and honor that you so rightly deserve. We thank you for your presence in our life. We thank you for your guidance in our lives. We ask that you continue to bless us and that you continue to give us the understanding to broaden our perspectives. We ask you to give us the ability not to take offense when we haven't done our due diligence in all that we can do. We ask you to allow us to challenge ourselves as well as not be offended if somebody confronts or challenges you on what you're not doing that can better yourself. I ask that in all of us. I ask you forgive us for when we are lashing out at people because they're telling us something that we just don't want to hear. I ask you to forgive us when we are not putting in the effort to get closer to your spirit on a regular basis. I ask you to forgive us for when we are ignoring or just might not understand some of the things that we are guilty of that we complain about. I thank you for not being a for allowing us not to be hypocrites in anything that we do, and I use that word very clearly because we often have a tendency to be hypocritical in our human nature. And I ask you to help us not doing that in the future. I say these things humbly, Lord. I say these to all those I know and love, and all those who know and love me, as well as those who don't, enemy, friends, and foes. I pray for you, and I pray for those, and I say these things in your Son Jesus Christ's blessed name, or however those who may know you and how they may know you understand you. Amen and amen. Straight talk leads to straight understanding. Next week, I'm gonna have some guests next week. All right, be safe. Control your emotions. You heard that? Everybody want to control them. Everyone. Is this the point in society? Thank you, Mama. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Go look at the one that I did last week. It was in honor of you. Love you. Maury Bells, y'all. Everyone. Control, y'all. Everyone. Everyone's reaching for it.